What's up, guys? I'm Bjor, and welcome to the Killjoy Haven Defense Guide. In my opinion, this is the hardest map to play Killjoy on, so I hope this helps you guys out a lot. If you guys have any ideas for what you want to see, make sure you let me know down below in the comments. And as always, like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Okay, this is a dedicated A setup I like to do. It starts with a alarm bot over here by long and a molly to go with it. This is just going to give you information to see if they're up long or not, and if they are, you pop the molly to stop the push. And then I put my turret either on top of this box here, or I can put it here, or on the floor. It doesn't really matter. For this, I'm going to put it here, just because it's kind of like a harder angle to shoot at if you're peeking short. And then what I'll do is I'll either play up top right here, or I'll play down beneath in one of these corners, but these are a little more risky. And then whenever my turret makes contact, whenever it starts shooting, I'm just going to swing out, and it should make for a pretty easy kill. If you want to, you can use your other molly to combo. You can put it down here. If they put multiple people, you peek, you get your one, you fall off, and pop the molly. But yeah, this is just going to get you an easy kill, because whenever you swing with your turret, it's really hard for people to shoot back at you. Okay, so here I am. I'm playing short. I don't really have to worry about my long because, like I said, I have the alarm bot and the molly. If they do come into sight, this is a pretty favorable fight. At least for me, I like it a lot. I can pick up a lot of multi-kills from here in short. But our main objective here is to peek off of our turret and kill anybody that tries to lurk or just pushes up short. Making sure they don't come up our long. Our turret makes contact. I peek, I get my free kill, and I get out of dodge. And then I kind of wait for my team to come and play the retake here. This is going to be another A retake setup here, because a lot of the times on the A site, you're going to be completely alone. And it's not really viable for you to play by yourself on the site, because it's going to be really hard to get 2 kills. So here on this one, I put a turret in heaven. This one is pretty hard to shoot. It's not that hard to shoot, but it just sees everything that you need it to see. And you can play in heaven and swing off of it. And then we go down here in sight, and we throw a molly in this little crack here on the bomb plant box. If you just throw it at it, it goes way in there, and nobody can see it, nobody can break it. And when you pop it, it hits all of the default box. You can't crouch underneath it, and anybody playing there has to move. And then I combine it with this alarm bot on the corner, or on the cross of like these tiles here, and a molly right next to it. That way, if anybody tries to go into hell, they'll hit the alarm bot and I'll hit the molly. You want to use this utility when your team is ready to retake the site. So when your team smokes, they're Sova darting, you guys are ready to go in, you want to pop both your mollies, and it forces the enemies out and makes them take really unfavorable duels. Okay, so like I said, with this setup, I'm usually just playing heaven here. If I can peek with the turret and get a kill, that's really good for me, but a lot of the times it's going to be hard to do that, because if people are running up long, it's going to be like 3 of them. I see one guy. I'm going to fall off and play safe here, and I'm just going to wait for my team to come into the retake. I hear the bomb go down. I'm waiting for my team to come still. The bomb goes down. Let's say the smokes are coming in. We Sova darted. I'm going to pop both my mollies now. I pop hell. I pop default. I'm swinging in front here. The default guy has to move, otherwise he will die. And anybody in hell also has to move outside. And then your team get really favorable fights on people that are not prepared to swing out of hell and default box. And then after that, you should have a free sight here. You should get kills, and then you can defuse the bomb. Okay, so this is a retake setup that I have. It usually starts with a turret in sight here. I just put it like anywhere around graffiti. It doesn't really matter. The only purpose of it is to make sure you don't get lurked on, because a jet or like an omen could TP themselves into heaven if they just walk into sight. So you want to know if they're in there or not. And then I put an alarm bot on spawn push and a molly. These are for if you Killjoy ult for the retake in this corner, which we're going to do. People like to push spawn on you to try to break it with like flashes and stuff like that. So whenever the alarm bot hits, I'll just pop that molly and stop the whole push. But then once we have this all set up, and we'll say the enemy's planted on site, they just tap the bomb. I drop the ult in this corner. And as you can see on the map, this leaves long open, and we're going to molly that. So I line up with like this little nub on the roof right here, and I go up to this lamp kind of. But I go a little bit below it. It's kind of tricky to get this, but if you practice it in a custom game, you should be able to get it. So go here, go to this, throw, and we'll just fly over. Lands in the cubby there, and it should be mollied off. Okay, so the bomb's going down. I drop the ult in this corner here. I come over to this box corner, do my lineup, throw it. I'm holding the spawn push if anybody tries to push it. I pop that molly that drops. I'm waiting for the ult to go off. And then I retake the site. What this is going to do, if anybody tries to live in this cubby, they burn to the molly. And if they try to escape long, it's a really long walk, so they probably end up getting detained, and you should get a free A site. Okay, the next setup I have is a B setup here. This is mostly good for when teams are kind of on a low economy, or it's just a round that you think they might pop B. It's kind of a big gamble, but this typically works really well. It starts with an alarm bot here in kind of the default spot where I like it. And then I also put a turret on this box, so it kind of crossfires with it. And then I'll put a molly right here in this corner. What this is going to do is a lot of times teams with a Omen or a Jet usually will like coming up to B here and then teleporting into this little cubby for a free plant. And then what they'll do is they'll teleport or jet dash back out into middle. And then play the post plant from there, because if you have the bomb in this cubby, it's super easy to play post with either shock darts, Sova ult, any sort of molly you have. It's really easy to play that from mid, and an Omen allows for just a quick, easy TP in, plant, and get out. And what this is going to do is the alarm bot's going to aggro them, and the molly, we're just going to pop it, and it should stop their entire plan. The B setup, usually what I do with it is I'm kind of playing around garage window here just because somebody needs to hold down this part of the map, and it allows me to be close to my utility so it doesn't deactivate. And I'll just throw a molly on door here. That way if anybody tries to fight me or a team tries to rush me in garage, I can pop the molly and either get a favorable fight or just slow down or stop the push. And then I literally just wait for my utility over on B here to pop. Usually what I'm waiting for is the alarm bot contact, and then I'll pop the molly. Or if I hear an Omen TP, I'll also pop the molly. Oh, I hear somebody in mid right now. I'm playing around. I hear the Omen TP, alarm bot goes off, I pop the molly. And that stops the whole plant, and their entire strat is pretty much ruined. The C site is kind of tricky here because you can't really dedicate yourself to it. But what you can do is play towards garage here, and then have a turret that actually watches both things. So the first thing we're going to do here is put a turret in this corner. I put it like halfway up the wall, so that way I'm still in range of it. This turret's going to watch the C run out, and also anybody who tries to lurk up into garage. What I combo with this is usually a molly right here to deter any push. And then I'll also put an alarm bot on B just so I have this information. I usually put it like right side of this wall. And then I play garage here, usually left side window, and then I put a molly in the connector area. This way, whenever somebody comes into garage, turret takes contact, and if they try to go up con, I pop that molly. If they try to pop C, I pop that molly, and then I can fight garage here and just lock down this portion of the map. Okay, so usually with this setup, I like to play left side garage here. This way, I'm in between my alarm bot on B, so they can't sneak in there. And I have my turret on C, which is still up. That's gonna take contact anybody that walks out. I molly them, and it's also gonna take a contact with anybody lurking in a garage. And then off that, I'll also hit this molly here that I put in garage con. So I'll usually just sit in this cubby here, wait for anything to happen, wait for any sort of turret aggro. The turret takes aggro. I popped the molly a little late there, but honestly, this is just to stop any sort of push. Because most of the time when I'm in window, like if anybody's lurking this, it's good for one, but then if they do push, that's what the molly's for. If they push with like an entire team. Okay, this setup is going to be for a dedicated C hold. So you're going to be playing to hold the site, and you're not going to be playing to fall off. You're going to try to get as many kills as you can, and then let your team do the rest of the work. It starts off with a alarm bot on the side of C long here, and then a pretty standard molly just right in front of it, right on the entrance there. This way when they come up, of course, like alarm bot goes off, you pop the molly, and they're going to be taking damage. And then I do this turret back here in spawn. What this is going to do is it's going to allow, the turret is going to see anybody that tries to lurk up through garage into B or try to wrap you on C. It's going to see them, so it can't, that can't happen anymore. And then I put my other molly right here on logs. So this way, they have to deal with this molly here. They're pathing through sight. A lot of the times people like to run towards logs. When the turret makes contact there at logs, because you can see where it shoots if I'm playing like back plat, which is where I usually am. Once it makes contact towards logs, I pop this molly. And then I don't have to worry about this, and I can worry about fighting in this lane right here. Okay, with this setup, I usually find myself in back sight here behind the platform. You can play on top if you want, but it's a lot more exposed and way riskier. And I'm just going to play back here off my utility and try to get as many kills as I can because, like I said, I'm playing dedicated, so my goal here is to get 2-3 kills and then let my team do the rest of the work. Okay, I'm sitting here. My alarm bot goes off, pop the molly. Turret goes off, I pop that molly here, and then I'm ready to fight anybody else coming into sight. So I got 1 kill purely off utility, which is kind of lucky to be honest. And then I'm peeking out, trying to find as many more kills as I can get. Rule of thumb, as long as you get 2, you should be good to go. And you did your job in the back of sight here, holding it down. Because if you create a 4v3, your team should win that. If they don't, unlucky, go next. And that's it for the C setup. Okay, so that, ladies and gentlemen, was the Haven guide. If you enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe, and comment down below if you like what you see or you have ideas for what you want to see. Make sure you let me know. Anyways, thank you guys for watching so much, and I'll see you next time.